Welcome to the Daily for Wednesday, January 19th with Greg Lawless. I'm Jason Seguini. Coming off of the supplemental draft that was held yesterday, teams populating their rosters a little more. Greg, who came out the winner of the supplemental draft?
Well, I think Los Angeles did. I think when you look at some of the players they picked up and filling in some of their holes and just getting some depth, especially I think for LA, that was key. Daniel Keat, midfielder out of Dartmouth, I think is a big pickup for them. He didn't have a great combine, but he was injured a little bit, so I think that was one that sort of slipped through. He had already signed with the league. That's a big pickup for LA. My other one that I think did well, I think, is Chivas USA, right across the hall from the Galaxy, especially Curtis Uchedo, the fullback, center back, Canadian guy, picked up at Chivas. I think is a guy that Robin Fraser can really work with. Showed well at the combine, showed he has some nice skill on the ball. He's not a guy that's just going to lump it out. I think those are the two teams that came out best.
All right, Greg, moving on to other news. In Chicago, it looks like Nery Castillo is gone for good.
Yeah, Nery Castillo looks like he's going out on loan to Aris of Thessalonica over in Greece. Same place where Eddie Johnson and Freddie Adu were last season. I mean, he's actually on loan from Shakhtar Donetsk. Looks like he's on his way out of Chicago. You have to look back at the era of Nery Castillo with the Fire and say, Jason, you know what? It didn't work. It never really seemed to click, and it's too bad. He's a good player, but he seems to have not really found his rhythm in the last couple of years, whether it's injuries, the lack of discipline in his training and things like that. But it just didn't work in Chicago, and now he's off to Greece.
Well, one player out of the league, a couple of players potentially coming in. Philadelphia with an announcement on Thursday, but a lot of speculation on who they're going to announce because there's been so many players rumored to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, the names just keep popping up. So it's Farid Mondragon, the guy who's in Germany right now. Marek Mintal, he's another name that's come up. Carlos Valdez, another player. We're not really sure who it's going to be at this point, but obviously Philly looking to add a major name to their roster. You think about how young they are and sort of the way that they've been building this team to succeed in the future. I have a feeling that it might be Mondragon. I don't know. They need a goalkeeper of some sort. They've had goalkeeper problems last year, so that seems like a good fit. We'll see what it really is when they make the announcement on Thursday.
Well, Greg, those aren't the only player rumors that are going on right now. Obviously, January with the transfer windows open, a lot of speculation about players coming to the league.
Yeah, and a big one, I think, Daryl Moreno is now being linked to Sporting Kansas City. He's with Once Caldas down in Colombia, and he was the leading scorer last season in Colombia. Remember, Freddie Montero was also the leading scorer in Colombia before he joined Seattle. And another name right now, maybe headed to the Red Bulls. There's talk about this or suggestions about this. Aitor Ocio, who is a center back with Athletic Bilbao over in Spain. However, reports are he might be a little too expensive for the Red Bulls.
Well, Red Bulls in the news for plenty of other reasons, including Rafa Marquez training in Mexico.
Yeah, he's down at Atlas, which is the club he started with down in Mexico. It's the big rivals of Chivas de Guadalajara. And there are reports, though, that maybe he didn't get approval from the Red Bulls to do this. I don't think that's a big deal. I don't think that's anything that anyone has to worry about. Look, the Red Bulls don't have a problem with Marquez going and staying in shape, playing with guys that he knows down in Mexico. We've already seen that the Red Bulls allowed Thierry Henry to go to Arsenal and train there. I think this is just one of those similar cases.
Speaking of Henry and Arsenal, Leicester City coming out, Sven-Göran Eriksson, and saying, you know, we weren't trying to get Thierry Henry on loan necessarily. We were just asking the Red Bulls if they had any players available on loan.
Yeah, so there's a little background to this, and basically Sven-Göran Eriksson saying that, you know, there were reports that he was looking into maybe bringing Thierry Henry to Leicester City. Not true at all. Hans Backe, the coach for the Red Bulls, was once the assistant to Sven-Göran Eriksson at when Eriksson was with the Mexican national team, also with Notts County and Manchester City in England. Basically just saying, are there any players at the Red Bulls that I might want to look at and maybe bring to Leicester City? I'm sure Backe looked at him and said, yes, there are many players, but you're not going to have any. That's just the way it goes. But I find it so fascinating that Eriksson has to come out and say, confirm that no, he was not asking about Thierry Henry. And let's be honest, Red Bulls aren't giving up Thierry Henry anytime soon.
Well, another Red Bull, or future Red Bull potentially, that's in the news is Sachi Hatt, the Boston College center back. He is a player from the Red Bulls youth system. He's training over in Germany right now, but he's come out and said that he would like to sign with the Red Bulls, assuming that is an option for him. So we'll see what happens with that if he becomes another homegrown signing for the Red Bulls. Red Bulls aren't the only New York team in the news these days, are they, Greg?
No, they're not. There are a bunch of New York teams. And not the Jets either, by the way.
Eric Cantona has been announced as the director of soccer for the New York Cosmos.
Well, the New York Cosmos continue to generate buzz everywhere they go right now. And, you know, there was that movie that came out, Jason, called Looking for Eric. Well, we found him. Eric Cantona now is the director of soccer for the New York Cosmos. This is a club that continues to build up sort of a foundation of what they want to be. There's still rumors about whether they're going to be able to join MLS. We're still not sure. A couple of weeks ago, Kobe Jones left the LA Galaxy to become part of the technical staff, including part of that youth club out in Los Angeles that they have. And now Eric Cantona, probably the biggest name yet attached to the Cosmos, the current iteration of the Cosmos, I should say. And this is a massive thing for them. I think it's huge in terms of the buzz. But we'll see what he can do as a director of soccer. What does he know about doing that?
What does he have to direct right now?
Well, that's the real question.
Teams?
Start with the youth team and then maybe start to build that pro team up. We'll see.
All right, well, if you missed Extra Time Radio yesterday, you can catch it, download it on iTunes or Buzzsprout. That's all we have for the Daily today. We'll be back tomorrow, though.